What's going on, guys? We're back with a brand new video. In today's video we're going to be doing a preview of the Geelong Cats that are in prime form. We've got some new recruits to talk about, and we're going to preview how they will be going in the 2021 season. But before we do that, go down below, hit that like button. We've been a bit down on the likes lately, so hit that like button. Let's try to get like 30 likes on this video. And when you're down there, hit that notification bell when you hit that subscribe button, because we're on the road to 400 subscribers, and you'll get notified at 4 PM every single day that there will be a video in your sub box. So if you like daily AFL videos, subscribe. And without further ado, let's get straight into the Geelong preview. First of all, I do have the breakout player, and I have Brandon Parfitt. Now, this man had a little bit of a breakout year this year, getting way more midfield time when Danger pushed forward in like later parts and still early parts of the year, and that really showed him out. I can't remember what game it was, but there was a game when he was also getting every single clearance and he was absolutely dominating, which is so great to see because he's still so young, and he could actually develop into almost like when Joel Selwood will eventually retire in the next couple of years. He could be almost a replacement because he kind of plays the same type of style. He's a clearance monster, and it'll be interesting to see what he does in the 2021 season. I reckon he's got to break out. He's an absolute star. People already said that he could have already broke out in 2020, but I feel like he'll go to the next level in 2021. Next up is needs to improve, and I have Jeremy Cameron. Now, yeah, he did win the Coleman in 2019, but he had a very poor 2020, which is pretty understandable. There was hubs, and like he was obviously making his mind up because he knew he was a free agent at the end of the year if he wanted to stay or go to Geelong, and he ended up going to Geelong. So I expect that he'll be happy with his choice, which will, like, I'm not really like shocked about this. Like, I have him to need to improve, but I'm almost like 99% sure that he will improve this year and go back to his 2019 form, and be that dynamic duo with Tom Hawkins. The only scary thing is he just did go down with a hamstring injury yesterday, which was really sad to see, because I'm so hyped to see him in round one, and there's doubts about round one. They said that he should play in round one, so I hope he does, because I really want to see how this team works together in the forward line. Next up is the BNF winner, and I do have Patrick Dangerfield. Now, this man is almost like the X factor to this team. I expect him to do more like a Dustin Martin role, because in previous years he has gone full on midfield role, and that's how he won his Brownlow medal. But at the back half of 2020, he did turn his game into more of a forward, because how teams were beating Geelong, where they were just pretty much sending everyone to just jump on Hawkins and make sure he doesn't get the mark, because that's how he beat Geelong. And then they end up deciding to chuck Dangerfield forward, and it ended up being the dynamic force that pushed him to a grand final. But I expect him to have more midfield time this year, with the addition of like Sean Higgins, that I expect to play almost like the Gary Ablett role. Then you got like players like Isaac Smith and all stuff like that can just help out. Because Isaac Smith, even though he's a winger, he does push forward sometimes on that half forward flank. So just free him up to be able to go into the midfield for more and more. And with Jeremy Cameron there, they don't need to run Patrick Dangerfield in that forward line too. I expect him to have like a 60-40 split, maybe 70-30 split with midfield and forward. Next up for the big improver, I do have Sam De Koning. Now, this man has never played an AFL game, which is, you're probably wondering why am I putting him in big improver. Simply because I feel like that this man is just going to actually play a few games this year. This is a very bold call, by the way, because this man's never played an AFL game. We don't know what to expect, but he was a first round pick in 2019, and the biggest weakness I would have to say is their key forward position. You say, yeah, they got Mark Litzarus, but with like the loss of Harry Taylor, they have Lockie Henderson running in there, which I do not really trust Lockie Henderson that much. He just turned 30. And you don't know what to expect, but this man is going to do 20 this year, has all the potential in the world. He's very like high up in what people think this man can do, and I expect him to come in almost like what Noah Bolter did this year and like help out the defense, because I reckon him and Mark Blitzarves will be absolutely crucial to this team if they actually do give Sam De Koning the chance. Next up for most goals, I do have the reigning Coleman medalist Tom Hawkins. I expect him to be the leading goal kicker. I don't know if he'll win the Coleman again, but I expect him to be the leading goal kicker, mainly because even though Jeremy Cameron is coming into the team, he's very young. He's like a very young player, Jeremy Cameron, and he likes to play up the ground. Like, he's absolutely elite. Like, the biggest part of his game is he almost plays like a Nick Rewalt role. Jeremy Cameron, He moves up the ground and is very good at goal assists, even though Tom Hawkins is too. But since Tom Hawkins, I think, is turning 33 or 32 this year, I'm not quite sure. He's turning one of them ages. Obviously, he's getting older. They want to try to make this man play as long as he can, and he's probably in career best form right now, and they want to keep him as healthy as possible. So running him out the square like they did for the first half of the season, when Tom Hawkins looked the most dominant, is probably the best case scenario for how they want to work this. Next up for surprise All-Australian is someone that people are probably surprised that he has never been an All-Australian in his career, and that is Mitch Duncan. He's one of the most loved players at Geelong, probably the most loved player at Geelong. I'll just say by what I see in the comment section and stuff like that. So I expect this man to have, at the back half of last year when Dangerfield pushed forward, Mitch Duncan spent a lot of time in the midfield. For the first time in his career, actually playing an inside midfield role, and he actually flourished in that role, upped his ability. Almost like what they chucked Cam Guthrie that was a half-back flank, and Mitch Duncan that was a winger in the guts for the second half of the year, and that pretty much rode him into the finals because it was so unpredictable and they were so good in the guts. I don't know what they were doing running Mitch Duncan on the wing for so many years. Next up is the best 22, and this is the 22 that I think that they will run with. Obviously, I don't have the man that I thought was going to be the big improver, Sam De Koning, because I don't know. He's still unknown. He's never played an AFL game. He's so highly touted that I feel like he could replace Lockie Henderson in this team. But this is probably their best 22. This is probably the best team on paper that I've seen in probably 10 years. I'm not even joking. Like, in every line, they just have superstars. There are probably only 2 weaknesses I see with this, or 3 weaknesses I do see with this team, but they're so minor that I don't even count them as that weaknesses. Is Reece Stanley is a ruckman because he's not that great of a hit-out ruckman, but they have so many great midfielders that it doesn't really matter if they don't have a great ruckman. He's so great around the ground, Reece Stanley. Then they do have Lockie Henderson in the back line, which I'm a bit hesitant about, and that's why I have Sam De Koning being the big improver, because if they can replace Sam De Koning, they can replace Lockie Henderson with Sam De Koning, they'll actually be absolutely amazing. And then their depth is a bit weird, like Sam Simpson is the only bloke that in that bench unit that I think could get replaced by someone like Quinton Narkle, Jordan Clark, Charlie Constable is like that last spot's a bit up for grabs. Even though Sam Simpson was so good this year in the games he did play, he was a bit injury prone. But look at this team. This team's absolutely ridiculous. That forward line, that 6 are just absolutely ridiculous. That midfield group, the back line even is so great. I see this team definitely winning the flag probably next year. They just have such a great team on paper. So I do have the Cats finishing first on that ladder. I feel like their team is so strong in every area of the ground. I don't see how they will not finish first. They could finish, I just haven't, the lowest I can see them finishing is probably 3rd. Because I know there's a lot of teams like Brisbane and Richmond that are around the mark that could take that 1 and 2 spot. But I feel like their list is so much better than them two, even though Brisbane and Richmond are star-studded. But I do have the Geelong just having so much of a late list. They did play in the grand final last year, and like other teams in the past, fallen off after the grand final. But like Geelong were in the game the whole time, so they have belief in themselves. They're such an experienced list with a bit of young youth like the Grant Myerses, the Sam De Konings, the Charlie Constables, the Jordan Clarks that are still coming through with the young youth. But I feel like this team is just primed to win the flag in 2021, and I do expect, and if they don't win the flag this year, it's almost like a disappointment because I feel like they're just so primed to win a flag, and some of their players probably will retire at the end of this year. So that's the video, guys. Make sure to drop a like on this video. The next time I'm doing is the Gold Coast Suns, so get ready for that in the next few days. So we're on the road to 400 subscribers, and hit 30 likes in this video because 30 likes is the goal I'm trying to hit on almost every video. So if you can do that, that'll be absolutely amazing. So thanks for watching.